Smart English Podcast. I have a confession, and I need you to hear the whole thing before you laugh. This week, I deleted a group chat. Not left it, deleted it. Wiped it from my phone like it had never existed. And I also blocked my cousin for 3 days.
Which cousin? And more importantly, which group chat? Was it the one with the wedding planning? Because that one is a war zone.
It was worse. It was the cousins chat, the one that has been fighting about our grandmother's old furniture for 6 months. 6 months of arguments over a dining table, a wardrobe, and a lamp that nobody has actually seen in person. Someone posted a photo of the wardrobe yesterday, and within an hour, 3 people were insulting each other's parenting.
The wardrobe war. I've heard about this from my own family, honestly. So you just walked away? In the middle of the war?
I walked away, and here's the strange part. I feel fantastic, lighter. I sleep better. I stopped checking my phone in the morning with a knot in my stomach. I have an hour of my day back every day. And I started wondering, why did it take me 6 months to walk away from something that was costing me so much?
And I suspect that's the topic you want to talk about today.
Exactly. Choosing peace over drama. And I have a feeling you've got a story about this too, because you're the most drama-avoiding person I know.
Drama avoiding? I've been called many things. Peacemaker, boring, the one who never takes sides. All true. But I do have one story where I got dragged into the middle of a war, and it nearly cost me a friendship.
Hey, English learners, welcome back. I'm Emma, this is Jake, and yes, I deleted the group chat, and no, I don't regret it. Today we're talking about choosing peace over drama, why we're drawn to the noise, what it costs us, and how to walk away without feeling like a coward.
And we'll share 2 very different war stories, argue about when a fight is actually worth having, and give you the exact phrases for stepping out of the ring. Plus a game, a word tour, and the sentences you'll need. Stick around.
So let's start with the addiction. Why are we drawn to drama? Because rationally, we all know it's bad for us, and yet we can't look away.
Because our brains are wired for it. Drama is a story. It has conflict, suspense, characters. Our brains love stories more than almost anything. And a real-life drama gives you the story and the feeling of being involved. That's why people watch a group chat explode instead of closing the app.
And there's a chemical part too, isn't there? The excitement, the adrenaline, the rush of taking a side.
Exactly. Conflict gives you a spike. Your heart rate goes up. Your attention sharpens. You feel alive. It's the same system that helped our ancestors survive. But here's the problem. The spike is addictive, and the price is paid afterwards, in stress, in sleep, in relationships.
And there's another reason we stay. We're scared of missing out. If I leave the group chat, what will they say about me when I'm gone? It's the fear of being out of the loop.
The fear of missing out. And it's a powerful leash. But here's the question I want to ask you, Emma. What does the drama actually give you that you can't get anywhere else? And the honest answer is usually nothing. The wardrobe war didn't give anyone anything. It just took.
Okay, the wardrobe war. Wait, no, you said your story was about a friendship. Tell me that one.
Right. 2 years ago, 2 of my closest friends had a falling out. They'd been best friends since school, and suddenly they weren't speaking. And both of them, separately, within the same week, came to me to tell their side of the story.
The classic position, the middle person. Everyone's confidant, everyone's judge.
Exactly. And for 2 months, I was the bridge. I carried messages. She said this, he said that. I thought I was helping. I thought I was the peacemaker, the one who would bring them back together. But I was actually making it worse. Every message I carried was fuel for the fire, and I was the one delivering it.
How did you realize you were making it worse?
One night, my partner said to me, "You come home exhausted every day, and you talk about their fight more than our life." And she was right. I was spending more energy on their war than on my own peace. I was paying rent in someone else's building, and the landlord was a fight that wasn't even mine.
Paying rent in someone else's building. That's the sentence I want to keep. So what did you do?
I did the hardest thing. I stepped out. I told both of them gently, "I love you both, but I can't be the messenger anymore. If you want to talk to each other, talk to each other.
I'm out of the middle.
And how did they react? I'm guessing not everyone was happy.
One was relieved, the other was angry, accused me of not taking sides, of abandoning the friendship, and I held the line. I said, I'm not choosing a side, I'm choosing my own peace. And a month later, they talked to each other directly and started fixing it themselves. Without me as the bridge, they had to build their own.
So your peacemaking actually helped them more than your bridge building ever did.
Exactly. My help was keeping them apart. My absence forced them together. Sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is get out of the way.
Sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is get out of the way. I'm writing that on a sticky note. Okay, my story now. Mine isn't about friends. It's about work. And it's about a woman I used to call my enemy.
Your enemy? That's a strong word. Tell me.
A colleague, let's call her Priya. We worked together for 2 years, and we fought constantly. Not big fights, death by 1,000 small cuts. She'd take credit for my work. I'd forget to invite her to meetings. She'd undermine me. I'd do the same back. A Cold War in an open plan office, fought entirely in microaggressions and passive comments.
The Office Cold War. Everyone has seen one, and everyone pretends not to notice.
Right, and it was exhausting. I'd spend the weekend dreading Monday, planning my defenses, rehearsing arguments in the shower. I was living with a war in my head, and the war was with someone I barely even knew outside of work.
So what ended it? What broke the Cold War?
A tiny thing. One day she was presenting to the whole team, and she said my name. She credited me for a piece of work I'd actually done. It was small, one sentence, but it stopped me cold, because in 2 years of war, she'd never once done that.
And what did you do?
I walked over to her desk after the meeting and said, "Thank you for mentioning my work. That meant a lot." And she looked at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. Then she said, "I've been waiting to say it for months. I just didn't know how to start."
So the war was two people wanting peace, but not knowing how to say it first.
Exactly. And from that moment, everything changed. We're not best friends, we never will be, but we're colleagues who respect each other now. 2 years of war ended with one sentence of peace. And I keep wondering, what else could have ended sooner if I'd been brave enough to say the first sentence?
That's a beautiful story. But I want to push you, Emma, because I don't think peace is always the right answer. Sometimes choosing peace is just another word for avoiding the problem.
Ooh, that's a real challenge. Give me an example.
Imagine someone treats you badly again and again, and every time you choose peace and say nothing. Is that peace, or is it just fear wearing a calm face?
That's a fair hit, because there's a difference, a big one, between choosing peace and avoiding conflict. Peace is a choice you make with your eyes open. Avoidance is running away and calling it wisdom.
And how do you tell them apart? Because they look identical from the outside. Both look like staying quiet.
The test is the feeling. Peace feels light. You've let something go. There's no knot in your stomach. Avoidance feels heavy. You're carrying the thing you didn't say, and it's eating you slowly. If you feel lighter, it's peace. If you feel heavier, it's avoidance.
And there's a second test, the pattern. If the same problem keeps coming back, you're not choosing peace, you're choosing to bury it. And buried problems don't disappear, they grow roots.
Buried problems grow roots. That's going in the notebook. So the grounded truth is, peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the absence of drama about the problems. You can have a hard conversation without a war. You can disagree without despising.
And that's the distinction I was missing in my own story. I thought peace meant never fighting, but real peace is knowing which fights are worth having, and having those properly, without the theater.
So when is a fight worth having? Because I suspect we're going to disagree on this too.
I'll give you my test. A fight is worth having if it's about something that matters in 5 years. Respect, money, family, your values. It's not worth having if it's about being right in the moment.
And my test is different. I ask, what's the best possible outcome? If the best case is everyone feeling better, fight for it. If the best case is just I win the argument, it's drama, and you can skip it.
I win the argument. That's the drama signature. The drama is never about the thing it claims to be about. It's about winning, about being seen, about proving who's right. Peace is about the actual outcome.
And the language, because English has wonderful phrases for this whole dance. Let's open the shelf, but explain them like a friend, not a textbook.
Deal. To keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to stay calm and not start a fight. I just nod and keep the peace at family dinners. And to stir up trouble, to deliberately create conflict or drama. She loves stirring up trouble between her brothers.
And the big one, to let it go, to stop holding on to anger or a grudge, to release it. I wanted to argue, but I let it go. And to make a mountain out of a molehill, to make a small problem seem huge. He made a mountain out of a molehill over one missed text.
And my favorite for today, to rise above it, to refuse to get involved in petty drama, to act with dignity. Everyone was arguing, but she rose above it. That's the whole episode in a phrase, rising above the noise.
Okay, let's bring this to our learners, because I think the drama problem is huge in language learning, maybe bigger than grammar.
Oh, the language learning drama is everywhere. My method is better than your method. Real English is British, not American. You can't learn English without living abroad. These wars are fought every day, on forums, in comments, in classrooms, and the learners caught in the crossfire are the ones who lose.
And learners get dragged in. They hear, "You're learning wrong," and they panic. They switch methods every month. They feel behind, ashamed, confused. The drama about how to learn becomes louder than the learning itself.
And here's the peaceful truth. The best method is the one you actually use. The best English is the English people understand. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best is today. Everything else is noise, and you can choose to rise above it, the same way you rise above the wardrobe war and the office Cold War.
And there's a quieter drama, the one inside your own head, the perfectionist voice. You're not fluent yet. You're failing. That's drama too. It's a war between you and your own progress.
Exactly. And the peace treaty is simple. Compare yourself to last month, not to a native speaker. Celebrate the sentence you managed, not the one you missed. That's choosing peace in your own head, the hardest piece of all.
And there's one more drama learners face, the group chat version, the community that's actually a competition. Someone posts their progress and the comments are full of comparisons, and you can walk away from that too.
Find your peaceful corner, a teacher you trust, a friend who encourages, a podcast that makes you feel capable. Curate your peace like a garden. Pull out the weeds and keep what grows.
Curate your peace like a garden. That's the sentence I'm taking from this section. Okay, I think we've earned the game. It's called Worth It. I'll describe a conflict, the kind that shows up in real life, and you tell me, worth fighting for or worth letting go?
The fight auditor. I love it. Give me the first case.
Case 1. A friend borrows your book and returns it with coffee stains on 3 pages.
Let it go. It's a book. It's readable. If you fight about it, you're making a mountain out of a molehill, and you'll both feel silly afterwards. Case 2. Your colleague takes credit for your work at a meeting in front of your boss.
Worth it, but carefully. Not a war, a conversation. I noticed my part of the project wasn't mentioned. Can we make sure the credit is shared? That's a fight worth having because it's about respect, and it sets a boundary for next time.
Case 3. Your uncle makes a political comment at dinner that you strongly disagree with.
Let it go, at the table. Dinner is not the arena. You won't change his mind with a speech over the potatoes, and you'll ruin the evening for everyone else. If you want, you can have the conversation another time, 1-to-1. But at the table, let it go.
And case 4, the hardest one. Someone you love says something that genuinely hurts you, and they don't even notice.
Worth it, absolutely, but not as a fight, as an honest sentence. What you said yesterday hurt me. I'm not angry. I just needed you to know. That's not drama. That's the whole point of choosing peace. You save your energy for the conversations that actually matter.
And that's the real lesson of the game. It was never about never fighting. It was about fighting about the right things at the right time with the right words.
Drama is a fire. Peace is knowing when to add fuel and when to walk away.
Knowing when to add fuel and when to walk away. That's the whole skill. And the beautiful part? You get better at it with practice. Every group chat you leave, every war you refuse to join, every mountain you refuse to climb, they all train the same muscle.
And the muscle gets stronger, I promise. I used to get pulled into everything. Now I can feel the tug of a drama and simply not move. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it.
Okay, I think we've earned the nerdy bit. Are you ready to slow down and do word tour?
Always ready. It's word tour time, where we take the words that actually showed up in our conversation and give them a proper home. Emma, you start us off.
Word 1, to keep the peace. It means to avoid conflict and stay calm, usually by not saying something that would start a fight. Example, I wanted to argue with my aunt, but I kept the peace instead.
And my example, he keeps the peace at work by never joining office gossip. Notice it can be wise, or it can be a habit of avoiding things you should say. The difference is whether you chose it or you're hiding in it.
Word 2, to stir up trouble. It means to deliberately create conflict or drama, often for attention or fun. Example, she loves stirring up trouble between her two best friends.
And mine, don't stir up trouble. The meeting is going fine, and I'd like it to stay that way. Word 3, to let it go.
To let it go. To stop holding on to anger, a grudge, or a small annoyance. To release it. Example, he apologized, so I let it go.
And mine, I was upset about the comment, but I decided to let it go. It wasn't worth my energy. Word 4, to make a mountain out of a molehill.
To make a mountain out of a molehill. To treat a small problem as if it were huge. A molehill is a tiny pile of dirt. A mountain is a mountain. Example, he made a mountain out of a molehill because she was 10 minutes late.
And mine, I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill. This is the third time they've ignored my email. Word 5, the last one, to rise above it.
To rise above it. To refuse to get involved in petty drama. To act with dignity even when others don't. Example, everyone was shouting, but she rose above it and stayed calm.
And mine, he wanted to reply with an angry message, but he rose above it. That's the phrase for today, honestly. Rise above the noise. And that closes the tour, unless you want to go straight into say it better, which I know you do.
I do. Say it better. Plain sentences get the upgrade they deserve. First, I don't want to fight with my family. That's fine, clear and honest. But say it better, I just want to keep the peace. Why? Keep the peace is the natural phrase. It names the active choice, not just the wish.
Second, she likes to make problems between people. Say it better, she loves stirring up trouble. It's idiomatic, it's vivid, you can picture the stirring, and it's exactly what native speakers say. Third, I was angry, but I stopped being angry.
Say it better. I was angry, but I let it go. Let it go is the precise phrase for releasing anger. It's shorter, warmer, and it describes the action, not the state. Fourth, he made a small problem into a big one.
Say it better, he made a mountain out of a molehill. It's the exact idiom, and it's a perfect picture. You can see the tiny molehill and the absurd mountain on top of it. Fifth, the last one, I didn't get involved in their argument.
I rose above it. 4 words, and the whole meaning. You chose dignity over noise. 5 sentences, 5 upgrades, and suddenly you can talk about peace like a native. And that's a perfect bridge to the closing. We promise to say what we're taking with us. Jake, you first.
I'm taking buried problems grow roots. Peace isn't silence. It's honesty at the right time, spoken at the right volume. And I'm taking the story of my 2 friends. Sometimes the bridge has to leave for the 2 sides to finally meet.
And I'm taking the most peaceful thing you can do is get out of the way. And the group chat story? I'm not going back, by the way. Walking away isn't losing. It's the opposite of losing.
And to everyone listening, if this episode helped you step away from a drama, share it with a friend who needs it. And if you want us in your ears every week, the subscribe button is right there. A quiet, peaceful place to be. Take care, keep learning, keep speaking, and remember, You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Bye, everyone.